and welcome to the Total Woman Show. I'm Dr. Barbara Young, and here today with one of my co-hosts, Coach Allison, and we have a great show for you today. And we are the Total Woman TV show. You know, for many of you that were listening when we launched the show, you heard about Coach Allison's crazy busy corporate life and her practice and expertise as a health coach, certified in integrated nutrition and corporate wellness. Well, if you've been listening to us, you know that Coach Allison gained tremendous self-awareness through her cancer battle and subsequent transformation. So today, I have her with me, and we're going to talk about her subsequent transformation and how she is making a difference with her personal journey of self-mastery and her work as a health coach, and how one can focus on life-work balance and burnout prevention. So it is my pleasure to welcome Coach Allison to the show today.
Thank you so much.
I am so excited to have you. And to hear your story. You know, one of the things that I learned about you is that you were born in Seoul, South Korea. So tell us a little bit about that journey and how you came to the United States, and a little bit more about Coach Allison.
Yeah, well, I was born there and raised there until I was 13. Mm-hmm. And my dad became a visiting professor at Brigham Young University in Utah.
Okay.
So all of us, our family, moved to Utah at that time. And I did not speak English at all.
No.
I didn't know anybody there. But yeah, and I have an older sister and a younger brother, and none of us spoke English. And so we learned it there in Utah.
Oh my goodness.
And not a lot of Koreans in that town
I
at
can
that time.
imagine. Well, you know, interesting, let's back up a bit. How did your father happen to come to Brigham Young in Utah? I mean,
yeah, we are all members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
And so my parents are two of the earliest converts in Korea.
Okay.
Who joined the Mormon Church.
All right. Uh-huh.
And so he got his PhD at BYU.
Okay.
A few years before that, and so he came back as a faculty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
And all the children and your mom.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how was it growing up in Utah? I mean, what a transition from Korea.
Yeah, it was. It was a culture shock.
Yes.
The first year was pretty tough for all of us, but after we got a better handle on the English language, it was a lot of fun. Utah was a great place to grow up, and very nice people, and great scenery, and a lot of fun things to do there. So
that's
yeah.
great. So now, what took you out of Utah and you came to California?
Well, it was a job transfer, and actually, you know, I went to college, undergrad and graduate program at Brigham University as well in civil engineering, and got my first job in Phoenix first, and then got a job transfer to California.
Wow, civil engineering, so you're pretty smart, I guess.
Well, I've been blessed.
You've been blessed.
Yeah.
Well, you know, one of the things that I do know about you is that you're into integrated nutrition. I would like to say that in corporate wellness. So you have this fast, we talked about on our earlier show about your fast-paced life and corporate life. So how did you make that transition from corporate life to integrative medicine or nutrition, not integrated medicine, but integrated nutrition and wellness?
Well, in my 19th year of my engineering career, I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Wow.
It was stage 2, very aggressive, grade 3, which is the most aggressive type, and was very sick through the treatments, and I had a lot of questions, because up till that time, I thought I was pretty healthy, and I was very active. I worked a lot. I did. I used to work 100-hour weeks, and getting dinners out of vending machines, and I got about 2 hours of sleep on the average for most of my career.
Well, tell me this: what was your reaction when you got the diagnosis that you had cancer?
My reaction was, I got this. That was my first reaction, because I really didn't know what it took to go through that experience, and I didn't know anybody close to me who went through that. I never got to watch someone go through that.
Right.
And I thought, oh, I got this. Because I've always been, very driven and determined, and to overcome whatever that was, a challenge for me.
Right.
But pretty soon I learned that cancer was not like anything that I had experienced. It was. I can't even describe to you how tough that was.
I bet that was.
Yeah, and I had a lot of questions as to why did I get so sick though? Because I felt fine, and I had no other symptoms besides about cherry-sized lump in my breast.
Okay.
And I had a lot of questions, to my doctors and anyone that I could ask. And I used to think that doctors did everything health related. They don't. They're medical doctors. They do medicine.
Absolutely.
That's what they do.
Right.
And I had a misunderstanding of that and kind of wanted to hold them reliable, I guess, or for the answers that I was seeking. And all they could tell me was, well, take the meds and you'll be fine. Because that was the only advice that they could give,
Right.
And they said, well, it doesn't matter what you do. It's like, yeah, it's gotta matter what I do. And so I kind of started tackling it on my own, anywhere from PBS presentations to books to articles to whatever. And I went to some classes at the cancer support group that I was going to. And I found a school, a nutrition school. And so I went back to school to study integrative health and holistic health, and got my first certification there to be a health coach.
What was that experience like? I mean, now, are you a cancer survivor at that time going back to school, or you were battling cancer and you decided to go back to school?
It was actually just a couple of weeks after
the diagnosis?
A couple weeks after I finished my treatments.
Okay.
Because my treatments consisted of my surgery, which is double mastectomy, and then chemo and radiation.
Wow.
And within a month after I finished radiation, I started school. So
Well, this is Coach Allison, not interrupting, because I know that viewers out there, when we hear the big C word, particularly breast cancer. And I wanted to sort of ask you this. Were you having regular mammograms, or, did it just sort of, you didn't have symptoms, but were you having regular mammograms and nothing was found? I mean, I'm just asking that because, the push is always, ladies, get your mammograms, and constantly we have that push.
Yeah. Well, I was 43 at the time. And actually I had a mammogram about a month before I found the lump.
Okay.
And the mammogram came clear. They said, everything's normal, you don't have anything, right?
Wow.
And I said, fine, good. And so that was in March of 2012. And in April, I was in bed one night and kind of realized, well, I haven't done my check, but self-check lately, but my mammogram came out clear last month, so I'm good. But then I was lying in my bed like this. I was like this, and I started going, and I found something in my left breast. And I thought, oh, it can't be anything, it's not anything, it can't be serious, right? It'll go away. And I waited a month, and it didn't go away, it was still there. But it actually felt smaller. So, but it was still there, so I was like, well, maybe I should go check it out. And, so the end of May, I was sent to a surgeon actually, first. When I wanted to see my primary care physician, I said I found a lump in my breast, and the lady who was scheduling me, she said, well, then in that case, we're gonna send you straight to surgeon. And so, and it took about 3 weeks to do the biopsies, and I went through a few biopsies. And they call them biopsies, but they're actually outpatient surgeries.
Okay.
And
they're pretty invasive. I understand.
They cut you open and take a sample out or put something in or whatever. And in June of 2012 was my diagnosis.
So from March to June. Wow.
It still felt fine.
That's a short time period. So now after you have the surgery, you're going through this chemo, and you decide you're gonna go back to find out what's really going on. You wanna go back to school. Okay, so, and what led you to where you are now? And you've done quite a few things, Coach Allison, and I know everybody calls you Coach Allison. I like that because you are a coach. But, you know, and when I think about your experiences too, and the experience you've had, it reminds me that I've always shared with people that our experiences are not ours to uniquely own, but to share. So I want you viewers out there to really capture Allison's story today and where she is, and we're going to talk about that transformation journey and how she was able to overcome and make a life and not succumb, because most people, and I want to ask you, you know, what motivated you to fight for your life?
Well, first I wanted to know what was going on. What is this for? What is the purpose of this experience? And what am I supposed to learn from it? And because, you know, I believe in life after death. And I believe that when I live a good life here, after we die, you know, we're gonna go to a good place.
What we believe.
But you know, Allison, I'm gonna tell you this, that's admirable that you wanna know, what is this about? The seeking of not the blaming, the oh poor me, and just sort of settling in with it, I'm just giving up, you know, but you wanna know, what am I to learn from this? And that takes a lot of maturity, it takes a lot of courage, and I just wanna applaud you for that.
Oh, thank you.
I really do.
And that was a big question, because I didn't understand why it was happening, and I thought there's gotta be a reason why.
Yes.
And certainly in my finite understanding, I didn't get it. But at the same time, because the battle was so tough, and I had a lot of complications. I was very, very sick, and there were many things that were very unique, and the doctors had never seen before because I was so sick. And even now, when I go back, you know, the nurses are like, they look at my chart and they look at the name and it's like, oh, are you the one who had 2 ports? Or are you the one, you know, because I mean, there are new nurses there, right? And it was like, yeah, I had those problems. But, and I kept thinking, you know, there were times when I just thought, okay, I'm done. I'm ready for this to be over. I don't care how. I can't do this anymore. But at the same time, I thought, if I am to learn what I'm supposed to learn, I knew that it would be my mission to share that battle-tested knowledge.
And I'm so glad.
Because when you almost lose your life for something, and your life is spared, you know that is for a grand reason that you don't even think in that skill at that time, you know? And I knew that would be for a reason. I didn't understand it at that time. And even after the treatments were over, I was still very sick. It took me a long time to recover. And even when I was enrolled in the schooling to study holistic health, I was very sick through that. I had pneumonia in the middle of that. I mean, I felt closer to death on pneumonia than I ever did with cancer treatments. And so it continued for a while. But, you know, it's been 3 years since I finished my treatment. And in that time, I felt like I have a story to share. There's so many people who have no idea how to be healthy, have no idea how to take care of themselves, because it's not a priority for them, because there are other things pulling them from all directions, right? And they can't even think that, you know, someday my body is going to tell me no can do. They don't think that. No. But that's exactly what my body did, you know? When you work 100-hour weeks, you know, eventually there comes a time where it's like, okay, some things have to change. And life handed
to help. You know, one of the things that I know, if you made a statement that this cancer bout was a gift to you. And to be able to transcend this and make this and change your paradigm, which I thought changing your perception of it as a gift. That's incredible for you to be able to internalize that and be able to see it as a gift. And I'm so glad you're my co-host.
I'm so glad that you're co-host.
It is absolutely a gift because the things that I've learned, the self-awareness and the importance of, having my body and having it function. It is such a gift. Officially I quote unquote graduated from my cancer support group 3 years ago. Right? And there were 11 of us in the group.
Oh.
And in the last 3 years, 8 of the 11.
I was about to say, remarkably, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
That some of them did not make it.
Yeah.
And for whatever the reason, they were done with whatever they needed to do. Right. Their time was they were done, and
obviously,
I still needed some.
I had some work to do.
Yeah.
And it is a tremendous gift to be here with that experience behind me, and to be able to help people with that, because cancer is so prevalent now.
Yes, it is.
And in America, the statistics is that 1 in 3 women and 1 in 2 men will have at least one cancer diagnosis in their lifetime.
That's
it's
incredible.
insane. That's insane.
It's
It is
absolutely incredible.
and I was given that number when I was first diagnosed, and I thought, I can't believe that this is what people go through, because it was so tough. And it wasn't just the physical side of it; it was the emotional, the mental, the financial burden, and all the things that you have to deal with. It's a tremendous burden to go through, and really.
well, it's very
Pure. Oh my gosh.
What do you think gave you the real stamina and motivation to just live and to start and embark on a new journey?
My motivation? Mm-hmm. My motivation is that, I've always been driven and determined. And I was very blessed to pursue the things that I wanted to do and do it well. But when you're on your deathbed and you feel that it's close. You feel, twice in my battle, I can specifically remember that I felt that it was pretty close, that I might not see another sunrise. And when you're lying in your deathbed, you just kind of, reflect. And I worked hard and played hard. I loved much, laughed much, and I had a great life. No complaints. But I wondered, did I live the life that I deserve to live? And I thought, well, probably, because I have been incredibly blessed, and to witness the miracles that I've witnessed, and to have the amazing people in my life. But at the same time, I couldn't help but wonder, could I have done more? Well, not because I was wanted to pursue more or anything, but as a person,
right.
Could I have enjoyed better balance, enjoyed more peace in my heart? I just kind of wondered about that. Like, what if that could have been true? If I could have had better opportunities, but I was focused on other things and I couldn't see the bigger picture. Right. And at that time, I was like, well, I probably, because until you get to that point, you really don't know. There's no way to know for sure that if your mindset was narrow or bigger, but there's nothing to really compare it to, right?
Absolutely.
Because that's the only life you live. But at that time, I was like, I wonder what it would be like to see things in a bigger picture, and not worrying about a deadline, not worrying about winning the next project and signing the bigger contract or finding a client or, next party to go to or, I mean, it's like, what if it was all just a bigger picture? What would
And it's really interesting you say this because so many of us focus on just these narrow things that impact us in life daily, our job, our career, our husband, our family life, not really thinking, is there something bigger out there for me? Is there a larger purpose for me? And so for you, it took this reflection, which you were able to do, and I'm so glad you were able to share
it's
that.
one of, deathbed repentance. That really is true.
And
Not that it was a repentance thing, or that not because I was seeing myself as a sinner or anything. And I have no regrets. I lived a great life. But
You had life from a different point of view.
Yeah, I just wanted to what if?
Yeah.
it was a bigger picture. And what if there was another, something else for me to do? Because I couldn't accept the fact that, that was all there was. Just the pain and suffering, and then I died of cancer, and that was going to be it. And I couldn't accept that. It's like, there's got to be a reason for this suffering. Because I'm a good person.
Yeah.
Why am I suffering because of that? And then I just kind of said, I'm supposed to learn something from this. And it wasn't clear at that time what that was.
Okay.
But now, and I'm still figuring out, I don't have it all down. But I mean,
You've done great work.
Yeah, well,
You've done great work. And so for the viewers out there, I want you to stay tuned for our next show where we're going to talk with Coach Allison about her views on what happened in her next steps. How did she move from being a cancer survivor to what she's doing today with integrative nutrition and corporate wellness? So we're going to talk about our M6 program. We're going to talk about her thoughts on food and nutrition and stress and life-work balance. So I want you to tune in to our next show. I'll bring my co-host, Coach Allison, back for the viewers. So thank you for tuning in. I'm going to see you next week. This is Dr. Barbara Young signing off until next week, and be blessed.